Mr. Romeo, Mrs. Juliet, you are here today to be tried for the murder of the nurse. The nurse was found dead on the balcony with multiple stab wounds to her stomach. You cannot be found the night of the murder. How do you plead?
Not guilty.
Very well. The prosecution may begin its opening statement.
Your Honor, the evidence will show that the defendants, Romeo and Juliet, had a motive to kill the nurse. They were seen arguing with her earlier that night. The evidence will also show that they could not be found at the time of the murder. We believe that Romeo and Juliet killed the nurse in cold blood.
Your Honor, my clients are innocent. They loved the nurse and had no motive to harm her. The evidence will show that they were not at the scene of the crime and had no opportunity to commit this terrible act. We believe that the real killer is still out there, and my clients are being wrongly accused.
Your Honor, with all due respect, the defense's argument is simply ridiculous. We have concrete evidence that places Romeo and Juliet at the scene of the crime. Multiple witnesses saw them arguing with the nurse, and forensic evidence links them to the murder weapon.
That may be true, but there's no evidence that my clients were at the scene of the crime and at the time of the murder, and there's no motive for them to kill the nurse.
The motive is clear, Your Honor. The nurse was standing in the way of Romeo and Juliet's love. They had everything to gain by removing her from the picture.
Objection, Your Honor. The prosecution is making unfounded assumptions about my client's motives.
Sustained. Please refrain from making unfounded assumptions, prosecutor.
Apologies, Your Honor, but we still believe that the evidence points to Romeo and Juliet's guilt.
Your Honor, I'd like to point out that the prosecutor's evidence is circumstantial at best. There's no direct evidence linking my clients to the murder.
That may be true, but the prosecution's evidence is still compelling. We will follow through with our investigation.
That is outrageous, Your Honor. We are innocent.
All right, you know what? Order, we'll go on a one-day recess and let everybody recoup with their heads. All rise. This is day 2 of the trial for Romeo and Juliet on the case of first-degree murder of the nurse. You may be seated. We will now be calling witnesses to the stand. I will now be calling up our first witness, Lady Capulet. If you will put your right hand on this Bible and put your left hand in the air and speak nothing but the truth and everything as the truth.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. I will now call up the prosecution to make their first claim.
Where were you the night of the murder? Oh, my husband came right up the night. Okay, where did you last see Romeo and Juliet together?
I have not seen the two teenagers that night. Honestly, don't understand why they're being trialed together. Shouldn't be anywhere near one another.
I will now call up the defense attorney to make his claim.
Do you think your daughter, sweet innocent little 13-year-old Juliet, is capable of murder?
Absolutely not. She loves the nurse with all of her heart. It's like her best friend. Never do anything like that.
Why do you think they're being tried together if she is not capable of murder?
I think Romeo is guilty, and my daughter is a young, innocent, sweet girl that would never do such a thing.
Has the jury reached a final verdict?
Yes, we have, Your Honor. The defendants, Romeo and Juliet, are guilty of first-degree murder of the nurse.
All right, I hereby sentence you both to life in prison without the possibility of parole.
No!
Oh no!